Hello and welcome to the MAC weather page for this Friday, April 28th, and a very wet, soggy weekend with heavy rains, maybe 2 to 3 inches of rain. But could we see some light at the end of the tunnel? If we look at the extended outlook, you're definitely going to see there is some promising signs. Today we'll have partly sunny skies, maybe a couple of showers around, especially this afternoon, highs in the low to mid 60s. We'll have a little bit better chance of showers tonight. But then later Saturday is when the rain really increases, and we could expect periods of heavy rain Saturday night right into Monday. And again, when time is all said and done, many areas will see 2 to 3 or more inches of rain. So a very wet weekend. You can see the extended outlook looks cold and near normal precipitation. But the 8 to 14 day outlook, we start to come out of the cold a little bit, and we look like we're going to be below normal in this area that's really seen a lot of, or in this area that's seen a lot of rain here over the last couple of weeks. And if we look at the normals for the day, our normal high is 64, the normal low is 40. And if we look at the cold and warm spots across the U.S. yesterday, a broken record that Texas keeps bringing on the heat. 107 degrees at Rio Grande Village and 14 degrees, the cold spot, at Taylor, North Dakota. If we look at conditions yesterday across the area, pretty nice day with temperatures in the upper 60s to low 70s. But as we talked about yesterday, temperatures would fall during the afternoon, and it was pretty chilly by the time we got into the late afternoon, early evening hours. And you can see we're almost 5 degrees above normal per day for the month of April. And we'll end up around right around 4, maybe the high 3s here as we see some cooler weather over the next couple of days, along with all that rain. If we look at some of the wind gusts yesterday, it was definitely pretty breezy with Middleton 45 miles per hour, 42 miles per hour wind gust at Breckenridge, and Blissfield, Henderson, and Marlette all recording 41 mile an hour wind gusts. So definitely a very windy day. And if we look at the soil conditions around the area, we need a couple more sensors replaced here in the Breckenridge area. But you can see temperatures in the low to mid 50s across most of our areas, a little warmer to the southeast. And again, soil temperatures again are pretty decent, and we're going to stay pretty close to these values with highs only in the 50s, lows in the 40s over the next couple of days. We'll warm up today again in the mid 60s maybe in some areas. And as far as soil moistures, we're starting to see the upper layers begin to dry out now, just in time for more rain. So we'll have to deal with that probably for another week or so. And you can see if we look at some of the crops and the drought conditions, you see very little in the way of drought in the major producing areas for winter wheat. And if we look at the soybeans, again, there's no issues with any kind of drought in the major producing areas, and the same with corn. So definitely not a problem of too little moisture. The problem's actually a little bit too much moisture right now. But again, we're in good shape as far as moisture goes. If we can turn things around, warm things up, and dry things out a little bit, we should get rocking and rolling. You can see this morning temperatures mainly in the mid 40s, about 15-20 degrees colder than yesterday. But we'll recover nicely again today with at least some sunshine to go along with those scattered showers. We'll see temperatures again in the low to mid 60s. So it'll be a pretty nice day out there today. But boy, she turns ugly after that. Here's some of the showers that'll be lifting up into the area today. Again, they'll be on a scattered basis. We'll have to wait for the big slug of moisture as that storm in the Rockies drops into Texas, develops, and then slowly moves up. It'll open up as an open wave and become kind of stacked, so it'll move very slowly. In fact, that low pressure system may be in northern Lake Michigan by Tuesday, so that's how long we're going to be dealing with some of this rain here as we go through the next 4 or 5 days. You can see on the weather map this morning, a low pressure system that's going to be bringing some of the activity into the state today, mainly heavier rains and thunderstorms off to our south. And then that storm really redevelops in Texas, and then it's going to start to finally lift out towards the Great Lakes here through the weekend into early next week, with flash flooding guidances all the way up now into Indiana, and we're going to see those likely extend into much of Illinois, into Michigan. But by and far, the southern Illinois down to Arkansas area is going to get hit extremely hard with amounts anywhere from 6 inches to a foot of rain here over the next 5 days. And finally, by Sunday, as that storm slowly begins to lift out, we're going to see a lot of heavy rain overrunning this front. So all weekend long, you're going to see a lot of winds out of the southeast to eventually the northeast as that storm begins to move towards the Great Lakes. So a pretty brisk wind out of the east and component is going to make things feel quite chilly all weekend along with that rain. So a pretty raw weekend coming up. As far as the next 7 days, you can see many areas in the 2 to 3 inch range across all lower Michigan. Very, very heavy rains of 5 to 10 inches or more as you get down into Illinois, parts of southeast Missouri, northern Arkansas, and back into eastern Oklahoma. And as far as a closer look at some of the precipitation amounts we expect here, you can see pretty much everybody over 2 inches of rain, with many areas up to around 3 and 3.5 inches of rain. So again, a tremendous amount of water heading this way, and it equates to, if you take the average precipitation for the upper and lower peninsula here over the next 7 days, it'd be 3.82 trillion gallons of water that'll fall across the state of Michigan. And if we look at Weather Watch this morning, you can see some frost advisories. This could be a theme for us later next week. Large area flash flood watches and stuff out. We talked about that yesterday, and I expect that to continue to expand a little bit farther north and into the state of Michigan as we go through the weekend. Even some winter storm watches out to our west, weather advisories, winter storm warnings again. So there's going to be plenty of cold air that's going to be around here over the next 7 days. Thanks for stopping by, and have yourself a great Friday, a great weekend, and 73s to all.